Right, are you ready to go? Kiss? Mwah. Nice bit of slubber. There we go. Mwah. Hey guys, welcome to today's YouTube video. How are we all doing? As you can see, I have a special guest with me. I do not know how this video is going to go. It's never easy filming with a dog, but I do have a bowl of treats, so we're going to try our best. But basically, today's video is all about him, the breed Chow'S. I get asked so many questions here on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, all about the breed Chow'S. So I thought the best thing I could do was come on here and answer the questions for you. I'm going to try and run through them as quick as I can because, as you can see up there, I got asked so many questions. I've tried to break them into different sections, so this video is not an hour long because I do not think little man here is going to sit here for an hour. But I'm going to start off doing a bit of a dating profile for Carter. So to anyone that doesn't know him, this is Carter Chow'S, the famous little Chow'S. He is a year and a half. He is male. Price is something everyone always asks. He was basically £4,000. He's worth every single penny, but they are expensive breed. It may actually be more expensive now because I know dog breeds or dogs prices have gone up a lot, but that's how much I paid. And also I will link the breeder down in the description box below as well, because a lot of you guys have asked, where did you get him from? So there's a little website down there. Go and click on that and that will take you to their page. So let's jump straight in, shall we, with the questions and get started so that people aren't sitting here and we're not sitting here for hours. So the first question I put in is someone asked, oh, you're giving me your paw. Right, relax now. There we go. So someone said, I found this related to a lot to what Carter's going through at the minute. Someone said, my chow has been biting and he's only 4 months, so he's been biting himself. How do I get him to stop? And someone, well, that drilling's nice. Well, I started filming. If you can hear that, I apologise. And what health issues has Carter had? Now, this relates a lot to what he's been going through over the past couple of months. Carter has had some serious problems with his skin. He's had some kind of reactions on his skin. He's been biting himself a lot. And kind of my knowledge that I've learned over these past 6 months of visiting vets, dermatologists, asking guys on Instagram, is Chow'S are, oh, your paws come from. Chow'S get a thing called hot spots. Now, I basically thought this was just something in summer when it's warm, and basically they have a spot, his is on his back, where he just nibbles his fur, creates a bald patch, and then he actually, bless him, bites into his own skin. So obviously I was going to go to the vets because this is surely not comfortable for him. And we've had steroids, we've had antibiotics that do help. I do obviously not want to just drug my dog, that I want him to get better. Then I thought it might be a habit, so I do sometimes put him in clothes like hoodies and stuff to stop him biting his fur. And kind of the long story, trying to cut it short, is I found with him, I think he has a reaction to certain types of food. So I now have him on a fish diet. I will kind of get into his diet in a minute actually, because there is questions here. But I've moved him onto different food. I've tried him on dry, wet, raw, all different things. And I find with Chow'S, they are prone to allergies to do with food. I actually did a skin test for him and I found that he has no allergies to outside things, so like trees, grass, all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, he still is having some problems at the moment, but we're kind of moving through the steps of elimination now. So my kind of recommendation for you guys, if you do get a chow and this happens to you or the person that asked this question, is first of all, create kind of like a diary, because it is trial and error. And as you create this diary, every time your chow or pet goes to nibble themselves, kind of work out what they've eaten in that day or work out what you've done in that day. Have you gone out and left them for a long period of time? So could it be anxiety? And just try and eliminate different things and change things up in their diet and see if things change with that. I would recommend going to your vet as well and getting a skin test. That was good to know that he has no allergies outside, because there's so many things that could affect the dog. And obviously it's hard to pinpoint everything what's working. So if you do a skin test, you've already eliminated a lot of things. So I kind of hope that answered somewhat of your question. But if you have any more questions, please pop them down in the comments box below. Next, now a lot of people always ask this about a Chow Chow. They do have quite a bad reputation for being quite aggressive, stubborn. Someone said, is he good with people? Are all Chow Chows sweet and chilled like Carter? How do you keep him so calm all the time? Are they possessive, or can they save your home from theft? How does he interact with strangers? Why have they got such a bad name but owners always say good things about them? So to try and answer all of that, yes, he is a very stubborn breed. That is just a breed. Friends of mine have been like, oh, maybe you need to take him into training. But it is just the way a Chow Chow is. That's what they're known for, is for being stubborn. However, they are the most placid, chilled, stunning, loveliest dogs. He is so good with strangers, which is probably not a good thing, because how someone said, would he kind of, if a robber was coming in, would he stop them? No, he wouldn't. He would probably just go over to them and jump up them and rub his head against their legs. So he's not gonna, well, certainly Carter, because they originate from China as Chinese fighting dogs. I believe you can train them as aggressive dogs, but it's all down to the training. For me, when I got him as a puppy, I spent so much time, put him around children, put him in around other dogs, just really training him to be a kind, soft soul, because that's what I wanted from a dog. I didn't want him being aggressive. I didn't want that fear of maybe him biting someone. I wanted him to be cute, soft and sweet and love children and animals and just be a really nice kind of chilled dog. So when someone said, is every Chow as sweet as him, as chilled as him? I know from what people have told me about their Chow Chows, no, they're all not. But I'm not saying people have trained them wrong. I just generally introduced him to everything at such a young age, so he would then be chilled and love dogs, love kids, love people, and just be sweet and certainly not innocent. So I hope that kind of answered your question. A lot of people do give them bad names. A lot of people say, oh, I've heard Chow Chows are aggressive and not a nice dog to be around. Honestly, if you spent a week with Carter, you would say completely different, because like my parents loved dogs but never wanted one. Are you okay? We're talking about you. But when they had him, they were like, we would have him every day of the week, because he is just, you're just such a lovely dog, aren't you? You're so sweet and you're being so good. There you go. So let's move on to the next question. Is a Chow Chow good for a first-time owner? And is it easy owning a Chow Chow? Would a Chow Chow be good for someone working long hours? Now, on these kind of three questions, yes, I would say he's good for a first-time owner, because I am a first-time person getting a dog. I had one when I was a kid. I was 3. I certainly didn't do anything for the dog. I was too young. And getting him now as a first-time owner, he is so chilled. He's great for people that work long hours. Not that I like to leave him on his own a long time, but generally when I was looking for breeds and I spoke to the breeder, they are a very chilled, independent dog. They're great on their own. They're not like, say, a Frenchie that are very needy and need a lot of time. Even when I'm here, he just generally goes and sits on his own. He'll waddle over a little bit later. He has this little sassy walk, say hello, and he wants to go for his walks and stuff, but generally he's just kind of very independent. So if you're working long hours, you won't feel the guilt as much as other dogs leaving them, and he won't be crying and stuff like that, because he's just generally fine on his own. I would say, like, obviously you never want to leave your dog for too long every single day, but they are a very, very good breed for that. So yes to first time owners, yes to people working long hours. Is he easy? Obviously, I've had a few problems with his skin. I think any dog you get, you're never going to have an easy ride. You might get problems with their skin or with their personality. With him, he's as good as gold. That's easy for me. The skin problems and stuff, as long as I get to the bottom of it, then yeah, I would say he's been great. And again, I think that is down to training, which I think is questions in here. So we're going to get onto that. But training is a key thing, I think, from a young age to get them into being an easy dog to live with. You know you're going to get a treat again. Next, how much does he eat? What does he eat? What dog food do you use as a puppy and adult size? Favourite treats and any good supplements for Chow Chows? Now, as I've already kind of spoke about this, food for him has been a huge thing. It's certainly been a journey, but we've now kind of got to the end of it. I would personally say when I bought him off the breeder told me a certain dry food to give him. I feel like dry food just dried out his skin, and I feel like a lot of people as well, friends of mine that are vets, also recommended getting him off the dry food. Some dogs are fine on it, but as they have such kind of, as you can see, fur and a coat, it's just kind of dry that out. So I have got him on wet food at the minute. I have been recommended to move him onto raw food. I don't quite want to go there. You okay? You're being so good. I don't want to put him onto raw food yet, but that will be my next step. But I use a company called Butternut Box. Basically, you go online, you fill in a questionnaire about your dog, their age, their size, their breed, are they fussy eater, just so many questions to get to know your dog. And they then weigh out the food in how much they feel your dog will need for the day. And you can choose from so many selections of food. Obviously, I have taken him off of meat, so there's only one fish dish, but there is so many meals there, and they're delicious meals as well. They've got lots of vegetables in them, lots of goodness, lots of vitamins, which a dog needs just like us as humans. So I can link Butternut Box down below for you so you can go and check them out. I have tried different places. I've tried Jolly's as well. They were great. Again, I'll link them down below. But I would say Butternut Box and Jolly's are my two favourite, well, his two favourite, obviously I don't eat them. And in terms of the size of the food, as I said, when you go onto Butternut Box, they measure it out for you into what they think from the weight and the size of your dog, what he should be. So yeah, hopefully that helps, and all the details will be linked down below for you. How high or how much does he grow? So basically I was told that Chow'S stops growing at the age of 1. He is obviously 1.5 now. And it is quite weird because I've seen other Chow'S and anyone else that I meet with a Chow, they always say how small he is. His mum and dad were definitely bigger than him. I'm kind of blessed with that because I kind of feel like I wouldn't want him any bigger. He's like small, petite and cute for his age. But they can get pretty big and fluffy. But as you can see, he is fluffy. He's definitely due a groom, which we're going to get onto the grooming topic in a minute as well. But this is as high as he gets. I know he's sitting down. I'll put some pictures maybe up around me so you can see. But he's kind of the perfect size for a dog, really. If you want a kind of medium-sized dog. If you obviously want a Great Dane or something, then he's not that. But yeah, this is full size for him now. Next, what is Carter's favourite outfit? Have you ever worn Carter's clothes by accident, and where do you buy your matching clothes? So where do we get our matching clothes, which we are wearing right now? Fully enough, he actually just wears the same size as me in adults clothes. So he wears a small adults. Obviously, it doesn't fit him perfectly, but in like shorts and stuff, I cut out the tail. In hoodies, it just sits perfectly on him. I actually put him in some of these sometimes in the day if I'm heading out, just because when he had his problems with nibbling, it stops him from nibbling his fur. He just nibbles the jumper, just in case it's kind of a habit. Yes, I have wore his clothes before. Basically, when we go and do shoots together, I don't know if you've seen over on my Instagram, we do like videos together where we wear the same outfits. I have then come back with a suitcase and I'm trying to look to see which jumper has the fur on it as to which one is his and which one is mine, because basically we obviously wear the same, are you okay? We wear the same size. So sometimes I'm probably wearing, this probably is his now, but who cares? I'm like, I don't get irritated and they're the same size. So I double up. He basically has his own wardrobe now full of clothes. It's crazy. I need to get him kind of his whole, like his own dressing room when we move into our next house. I think I'm going to do like a little dog dressing room. You okay? You're being so good. Right, next. Does he molt a lot? There we go. Oh, does he molt a lot? So basically when I first got him and anyone asked me this question, I was like, no, he doesn't molt. He's fine. Like I haven't really had much fur around the flat. Well, that all changed. When he then moved into his next coat, into the next season, which was winter, by God, was there fur everywhere. You would literally grab him like this and there would be a clunk of fur in your hand. I basically thought he had a problem, but it's just generally moving into then his winter coat, which is a lot thicker. So like this flat was covered in fur everywhere, and I had to brush him every single day, and basically the brush was just like a big fur ball. I don't see it as a problem. It depends if you care if you have fur in your house or not. Just get a good hoover. That's all I'll say. Because basically, if you want a black floor, it's going to be white by the time he's walked around it. How much time and often do you bath him? Do you groom him yourself? And how many times a week do I brush him? So as I said, I would brush him every single day. I feel like he enjoys it. I feel like it's good to get all kind of dead hair out and just make sure he's nice, well and groomed. He is very much past his groom right now, but I've tried to make his fur grow from where he had his bald patches, and I've tried to take advice from a lot of people that said maybe I was bathing him too much and grooming him too much. I was getting him done every 4 weeks. He loves going to the groomers, so I was like, okay, I'll spend the money out. I think it's like £70-80 every 4 weeks, but he enjoys doing it. It keeps him really nice, and I don't groom him down too much because you ruin their coat, or I don't do it, the groomer does it. But basically I was told that change it to 6 weeks because 4 weeks might dry out his fur when they get wet and have a bath. It might dry out the fur, so I've moved him now to a cycle of every 6 weeks. I think this is actually 8 weeks at the minute, but he is going on Friday, aren't you? So yeah, I take him to a groomer. To anyone around kind of Essex area, I don't know if you're watching from Essex, I will link the lady that I go to down below. She is amazing with him. She does such a good job. I'll put a picture up there. You'll see she does such a great job, and he looks so clean and fresh and just so cute when he's shaving down a bit with his little lion's mane. So next, how much do you spend on him and how much did it cost to maintain him? So I've kind of just answered that. It's about £70-80. I guess it depends on the groomers you go to. The better you go to, the more expensive they are. I have been to cheaper ones. I found they didn't do a great job. Where he has his nails clipped, they were cutting them at the wrong angle, and when he was going on walks, they were bleeding every single time. So they need to be cut at a certain angle. So I feel like you need to go to someone who knows what they're doing, and potentially someone who's maybe done a Chow before, so they know not to go too short with his coat and ruin it. They know how to do his nails, and just generally to do his ears as well, because kind of going back to the health issues, he does get really bad ears. He does this thing where he shakes his head, and I feel like a Chow's ears get so dirty, so they need to be cleaned out a lot, which I do myself. Oh, you look so cute. Which I do myself every single day with a little kind of animal wet wipe. Do get pets ones, and also I do put drops in sometimes from the vets just to help, because they can get quite bad. So the next question, does he sleep a lot? Are they lazy? How often do they need walks? I have a Chow and he sits not to come home. Is that normal? Does he play fetch, and how is Carter off the lead? So does he sleep a lot? Yes. I feel like when I kind of got him and he started to get a bit older, I used to feel really guilty because I was at home and I'm working, and obviously you can't spend every moment of your day with your dog. But you okay? Are you asking for more treats? Is that what you're doing? But I feel like it is normal for a dog to sleep all day. That's all they do. I've got so many toys, and I do play with him all the time. I take him on 2 walks a day, which is... Are you okay? Take him on 2 walks a day, which the breeder told me they're not a big walking dog, which again relates back to, are they... Okay, that's not really attractive, but we shall continue. We're filming right now. That's not attractive, Carter. They only need 2 walks a day. They're not a big walking dog, but in terms of does he sleep a lot? Yes. I'm like, he just goes and sits on his own, has a little sleep, and then I'll play with him sometimes, but they're not the biggest playing dog. They prefer just to sit in a corner and sleep. Are they lazy? I wouldn't say he's lazy. He loves being outside. He loves a walk, but... yes, they like to have a lot of sleep. I guess those kind of 2 answer them. How often do they need walks? Twice a day, I would say. Maybe 3 times if you're doing short, small walks. But I would probably say 2 nice big walks should be fine. I have a Chow, I found this really funny. So I have a Chow, he sits not to come home. When he's out for a walk, he does not want to come back. He is so stubborn, he like slumps himself down to the floor, and you have to like, you see so many videos about Chow's all across the internet where people are dragging their Chow's because they like get stubborn and they're like, I don't want to go home. So yeah, I feel like he is exactly the same, but then I feel like he's kind of stuck in the house most of the day. So he's like, I want to be outside. And when he's like, I know I'm going back in the house, he then obviously is like, nope, I'm not going. But I kind of have to be like, come on, we'll go and get some treats or some food. Does he play fetch? The problem with a dog like this is I don't really take him off the lead unless we're on private land, because I just feel so nervous right now with everything that goes on in the world, with people even getting their dogs stolen from their houses. I just feel like it's best not to take him off the lead. He is stubborn, he doesn't really listen. Like, he was good with his training, but when they're on a park with other dogs, they will just bolt to the dog. Or other people, it will just run up to other people, and I just feel like it's best to keep them on the lead. So if and when I get my garden, we will play fetch. He does bring balls back and stuff in the room. But right now, we don't really get the chance to play when we're out, because it's generally just a walk and then a walk back, and obviously to go to the toilet. Does he swim? I feel like Chow's don't actually like water that much. He's fine when he goes to the groomers, or like in the bath, but when it rains, he's not the biggest fan of it. And also, if we go near like a puddle, he'll like get scared and not know what to do. And I'm like, you can go through the water, it's fine. So kind of getting experience from when I've took him on walks. I don't think they love water. So can he swim? I feel like because he's so furry, if he got wet, it would be quite heavy. So he'd probably just sink. So I don't think it's a good idea getting a paddling pool for them if you get one, and I don't think it's a good idea throwing him in a swimming pool, because I don't know what would happen. Did you do training with a specialist? How much training does it take for a Chow, and is it expensive? I guess if you want to get your Chow or our Chow trained, it can be expensive depending on, again, on who you go to. I actually just did it myself. I went on YouTube, looked at certain techniques and how people train them. I guess YouTube is a great place to learn yourself and to teach your pet. And he was so good. Obviously, it does require a lot of treats because they're not going to just do it for the sake of it. But when treats are involved with the Chow, he will basically do anything. He does paw, he does kiss. So let's see if he does it now. Kiss, kiss. No, not tongue, kiss. There we go. He'll do paw, he'll do up. He doesn't do roll over because I found Chow's don't like to be on their back. So yeah, he trained really well. Toilet training was so quick. We're in a flat, and obviously the poor dog, well, I'd say poor dog, they're only supposed to go out twice a day anyway, so even if you had a dog in a house, but not having a garden necessarily here, we had a balcony, and he learnt so quickly not to wee and poo on the balcony and on the puppy pads. He learnt to wait until we went outside, and I feel like my brother's dogs still pee and poo on a puppy mat in the flat. He will hold his wee in regardless. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there has been occasions where I've been stuck in London, I didn't get back until say 10 hours, and obviously that is not ideal. I'd feel guilty. It's a very, very, very rare occasion, but he will not wee or poo in the flat, and that is so good that a dog will hold that in, even though it's not fair. He just won't do it here. So I'd say they are quite good to train. Just make sure you spend the time with them, be repetitive. You tired from all the filming? Be repetitive and just continue to try and train them. Tell them off as well. Make sure they know who's boss. Make sure they know that you're telling them off. You look really cute. And they should learn quite quickly. If you want to ask any more questions about any of the topics I'm going for as well, don't forget to comment them down below, because I feel like I'm kind of briefly touching on things. Next, what is the most things he dislikes and what is the most things he likes? Dislikes, I would probably say, it's quite weird. My mum and dad actually took him for a walk the other day when they came to visit me. And there was like a little kids Punch and Judy show on, and he would not walk past it. Like all the little noises, I'm not going to try and do Punch and Judy, but it's like, rah, 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 rah. He got really scared of the puppets and he was like, no, I am not going past. Car doors as well. He will jump into my car door, and he actually, funnily enough, knows which one my car is. But when people have their door open and they're sitting at the car door, he doesn't like to go near them. It's very strange, obviously things he doesn't like. But generally, most things he does like just strange, weird things like puppets. In terms of liking things, he loves children. Whenever we go and visit my friend with her child, he's so excited. He loves people. He loves dogs, but the poor dogs don't like him, so it doesn't end well when he gets attacked. He loves his treats, don't you? He loves his walks. He generally just loves life. I feel like for a dog, he loves life. If you're going to ask the question, does he like wearing clothes? When I get a new order of clothes for us both, I say, Carter, order. See, he knows. And he'll run in and he'll put his paw up because he knows he's going to try clothes on. So I would take that as he likes them, but who knows? I wish I was like Dr. Dolittle and I could understand what was going through his little cute head. Do they have a blue tongue and why? So I didn't realise this when I got him. I didn't realise that all dogs don't have a blue or black tongue. I don't know why, I just never really took notice to it. But when I first got him, someone was like, oh my God, you're feeding your dog a Chubba Chubba lolly, which is a lolly that turns a human's tongue black. And I was like, no. And then I realised that I don't think any other dog has this black or blue tongue. I feel like it's because they originate, I think, from China. And it's just a breed thing as a Chow Chow. I don't know why it is. A lot of people asked why and all of these questions. I really don't know. I don't think there's any explanation to it other than it's just the Chow Chow breed and I feel like they're like a Chinese fighting dog. That's where they are known and originate from. He clearly isn't a fighting dog. But I do know people as well who have them as guard dogs. So they can kind of go one way or another. But the black tongue, I don't know. I think it's cool. He's cute. And it's nice that he's got his uniqueness. Next. I read mixed views about Chow Chows in rainy days. It rains a lot in Dublin where I live. He will go out in the rain. Maybe you don't need to put any coat on him or anything because he's generally quite warm with his fur. I see other little cute dogs on with little jackets and jumpers. You can do, but just make sure you dry them when they come back in because if they have wet fur and you don't dry them, they can get very bad irritations on their skin like he's had, but worse because you need to kind of dry them. He doesn't mind a hairdryer either, so you're safe with that. We are getting to the end now, guys. I do apologise. It's going to be a long video. Is he climate sensitive? I would say yes, because obviously of the hot spots. In heat, obviously try and get them groomed, not more, but try and get them trimmed down a little bit more because obviously he's going to be boiling hot when it's warm outside. They'll get their hot spots. Just make sure that you have like tiled floor in your house or a shaded area. He will go and sit, like in summer, he'll sleep in my bathroom where the floor's cold. And just, yeah, make sure that they have a lot of water because as you can see, he's got a lot of fur. They're going to get very hot in summer. In winter, they far more prefer it because they prefer cooler temperatures. Next, how do you get rid of tear stains? So basically, their eyes water a lot and they get, let me have a look, they get like this blackness under their eyes. I felt really sorry for him when I first got him because I was like, oh my God, like, is he always crying because he's upset? But I just think it's the breed, that's how they are. And you can get eye drops, like these eye things. Just wipe away every day. Basically, my grooming routine for him every day is brush him, clean his ears with dog wipes, and wipe under his eyes. I feel like that's the best thing to do every day or every 2 days. Or you can get kind of these like drops that you put underneath the fur, and it does help over time, just because if not, they get very, very black eyes underneath. I'll try and link some of the drops down below and all like products and stuff that I use. I do use some, someone asked about supplements earlier and I forgot. I use some like skin health supplements. I will link them down below as well. A vet recommended them to me and a groomer recommended them to me, and it's just to help with their coat and their fur, but they're basically like vitamins that a human take, but a dog version that help with their health and general well-being. Next, does under his mouth get wet a lot with drool? Found this really funny because it does. When he gets like this little beard here, when I fill up the bowl and he drinks a lot of water, he walks away, pardon you. He like shakes his head and basically your wall is filled with water and there's water all over the floor because it just drips away. But it's so funny because it's just clunk up and this big wetness on his beard. It's not obviously a problem, it's fine. When we go on walks towards the end, when he gets tired, he drools a lot. No, stay there, we're nearly done. A lot of drool on his mouth, but I don't care, he's my dog. It's like cleaning a baby's bottom. I just clean the drool away, it's fine. But he's not like a massive drooling dog. but a little bit of drool. Now the last 2 questions, we are at the end, guys. If you have stuck it all the way until the end, thank you so much. I hope I answered your question. If I didn't, I've kind of tried to link them all in together, and please put more down in the comments box below. But the last 2 questions are, will Carter get a brother or sister? I have been very tempted. The breeder had a spare one going recently because someone dropped out. I was really tempted to get another one for him to keep him company. But getting a dog is a big responsibility. You can't just leave them all the time on their own. You can't just go off on holiday and obviously leave him. You have to find care for them. They're not necessarily expensive. It depends what kind of you earn, but feeding them, getting them treats, toys, and grooming, I genuinely feel like it's worth it. And he actually gets his own jobs on Instagram, so he kind of pays for his own vet bills and food and stuff. But I was tempted to get one, but I feel like when he's going to stay with friends or family when I'm busy or away with work, it's harder being like, can you have 2 of my dogs rather than just one that's chilled? So I kind of feel like I'm going to stick with him for now, just on his own, but who knows what the future holds. I do massively love him, and it would be amazing to have 2, but I feel like I would want a child next, and then maybe another dog after that. And the last question, how worth is it, let me get my question out, I'm kind of at the end of the video, tongue twisters. How worth it is it, oh my God, I can't even get the question out. Is it worth it having a Chow Chow? That's basically what I'm trying to say. I would say it's the best thing I've ever done. I kind of felt like I couldn't let anyone in with love before I got him. I had been single for many, many years, but that's a whole nother story. And I found getting him really made me feel like I could love again. And I feel like he's my best friend. I sit in this flat on my own, I live on my own, and even though he sits on his own, it's just nice having him here. When I say I'm going to bed, he follows me in and sleeps next to the bed. And he's just a great companion for someone who's maybe lonely, or anyone really. He's just great to have around. He's great with people. I take him to my friends and he's no bother. And it is the best thing I've ever done. So should you get a Chow Chow? Do I recommend a Chow Chow as a breed? 100% yes. Just make sure you train them well. They're not going to just you can't just get them and they just be a great dog. It's all down to you and them and your partnership you have together. Now, all of the brands that I've mentioned, kind of like what I use and stuff, I'll link down below. We're nearly done, darling. I hope I did answer all of your questions. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you are new to my channel, to come and follow us. Go and subscribe now. Follow us over on Instagram. And that's it, Carter. Say, but get up, 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 up. Or are you going to be lazy? Up. Sit up. It's quite comfortable there now. I hope you enjoyed today's video, guys. See you all soon on another video. Take care. You did such a good job, Kiss. There you go. Good boy.